Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How are you doing today? Michael Zuber with One Rental at a Time, and we are with our weekly expert in the mortgage market, Matt, the mortgage guy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I got to tell you, these are the last two conversations I am having before I jump on the road and go drive down south. So I'm looking forward to these conversations, but also getting on the road. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, no worries. I feel like last week before I was taken off to Santa Cruz, it's hard to focus when you're like, your mind's already on the road. So I'll try to rein you in and keep you focused for these last two, and then you can, get on the road and enjoy.
I appreciate it, man. Well, the first conversation I got to tell you, kind of that hit me yesterday, the freaking 10-year. I have no idea what's going on in the 10-year market. It fell. We're actually getting the Fed meeting minutes at 11 our time, so that had to be market moving. But man, we were talking about going over 1.5 and it hit 1.3 this morning. What the hell is going on? I'm curious what's going on in the mortgage market, because maybe the 10-year falling is actually not impacting rates. You don't know. Is mortgage banks still getting tighter? It just feels like a lot of stuff going on. It's going to land in your world, and I don't know what the hell's going on though. So I thought I'd ask you.
Yeah, I mean, the surprises started yesterday because the 10-year fell yesterday and then it fell again today. And so far, today's move in mortgage bonds hasn't been as significant as yesterday's. Okay. But as you would expect, rates got better.
Oh, good.
Rates didn't get significantly better, but let me see. We got a green candlestick yesterday. I'm just looking at just like a market overview where the 10 years down 5 basis points today to 131ish. Like you said, it broke for a brief second 130.
Yep.
And mortgage bonds are only better by 2 basis points, so not much of a move. But there was a lot of repricing for the better yesterday. So in any given scenario, you might have gone from a 3.03% to a 2.95%.
Oh, so we're under 3.
Under 3 for the best price.
Sure.
Even some of the stuff where if you're like a 60% refinance, like 60% loan to value on a refinance where you've got perfect credit, you're probably 2.8, close to 2.75 without paying points. And so it's been, let me see, since we had that big red day mid-June. It was like a June 14th.
Yep, I remember
that announcement. And so it's like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, worse. Since then, like we've got the retracement where we're much better than we were pre-June 14th. So as much as that hurt in the short term, mortgage bonds have got all that back plus some. But it's funny when you think about
something I always wanted to ask you.
I was just going to say,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just all this movement is always like super red, and then the 10 years down and mortgage rates are getting better. It's such a small little window of like 305, 295, 301, 2.92. It's just not as dramatic as some people will make it. But like I tell people, the media's got to have something to talk about.
Yeah,
some of these mortgage websites have to have some sort of headline. So hopefully you remember your thought. I cut you off, but what were you about to say?
I was just going to ask you, what was, again, let's assume perfect credit, no points. What was the best 30-year rate you've seen in the last 4 or 5 years? Was it like 2.6, 2.65?
I think towards the end of last year, the sharpest price lenders were probably at about 2.5 without paying
2.5. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And again, so if today, like you just said, right now, kind of the perfect credit, even on a refi, you're at 2.75. You're within, a quarter point of the best you've ever seen.
Yeah. And you know what? I can't say it enough, and I'll just keep saying it, even if, my prediction takes a little while to come true. I just don't see this happening forever. I'm urging folks. Here's a funny thing, Mike. I used to laugh at some of the verbiage of some of these online marketers.
Yeah.
And yesterday, everybody who does paid ads just has to have really catchy advertising. And the one I saw yesterday that I laughed at, and then after I laughed, I thought to myself, I agree, was experts urge homeowners to refinance before summer's end. And that was an advertisement. And I thought to myself, you know what? They're kind of right.
Yeah.
Experts are all saying mortgage rates are going up. And so they kind of tied some things together. Experts think rates are going up. Experts aren't urging people, I
Yeah.
don't think, but maybe they are. I mean, to a certain extent, I'm urging people, if it makes sense, please don't wait. I've just had too many conversations where it's a month later, 2 months later, and they're like, gosh, I wish I would have. I had a text message yesterday where, a client texted me and basically said, I know I should have listened to you, Matt. And it was regarding, not just doing a refinance, but not using a credit union that she had just done business with for a long time and just had a relationship with. So I said, we do mortgages better than they do. They might do other stuff better, but not mortgages. So I wasn't going to fight and claw for the deal. So anyway, I showed her the meme that I get to show a lot of people where it's like, help me, help you. Yeah. Right. Is that Jerry Maguire? Is that the movie?
Yep.
Where it's like,
help me,
help you. And so when I'm talking to somebody and I'm like, listen, you're saving $350 a month. This thing costs you, even though it's baked in the loan, less than $3,000. This thing is going to pay for itself in 8 months. Please help me, help you.
Yeah.
And
if you get a if you get a payback period less than a year, it's a no-brainer.
Right. What I've started to do, because I told my team, we're blessed to be so busy that we're not desperate to sell anybody,
right?
But we started just labeling things. And when we send out scenarios, we'll put a label, green light refi. And with those people, I told my team, we don't want to be trying to sell or pestering them, but we want to encourage and follow up a little bit more than say a yellow light refi, because more often than not, those people say, thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. Things were busy. I know I wanted to do it. I needed you to push me a little bit.
Right.
Okay, fine. We'll do that.
Yeah,
on the
I can
green
do that.
light, on the green light refis where it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because there's something about, I'm just not very good at pushing people.
Yeah.
I want it to be, here's your options. I'm going to present them to you. You tell me what you want to do. But at times I've learned people want to be pushed a little bit because they get busy and, they're off doing other things. And 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Bottom of the list. Yeah. It's
right.
Not on top. That's pretty awesome. I agree. Yeah. Anybody that's paying back in a year needs to be a green light refi. It just makes perfect sense. And again, if you're doing that, paying PMI, it's just, again, if you bought in California in the last 2 years and you're paying PMI, you need to call Matt, the mortgage guy, or email Matt, the mortgage guy, and see if he can help you. So how do you want them to do that?
Oh, that was a pretty good little jingle you just made up, Mike. If you're paying PMI, call Matt, the mortgage guy.
There you go. You can have it. It's free.
Yeah. Okay. Matt, M-A-T-T at Matt, the mortgage guy, is my email. So send it there if you're in California, if you're outside of California and you want to be connected with a great mortgage broker who's in the state you're in, licensed there, greatmortgagebroker.com. I set that up so it's easy for people to get connected. I've got great feedback from people. And, if you're in process and you're doing something out of state, like, you were CC'd on a couple of the emails, Mike, but I get those all the time where, hey, this is what it looks like. This is what I'm being offered. Is a good deal. I mean, I get those everywhere and I try to respond to all of them, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or on YouTube or wherever. Another place, if you want some real-time feedback and advice, is every single Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I go live on my YouTube channel. I get people on there and they're, just going through, I'm buying a new build. Here's what the builder's lender sent me. Here's the loan estimate. And we'll go through it in real time. It'll help that person asking the question and the other 65 people that are watching live. So however you can reach me, I'll be sure to try to get back to you. If you're in California and we can work together, since I'm licensed in California, I'm happy to help. And that's when you just send an email to matt@mattthemortgageguy.com. Me and the team will make sure to get back with you within 24 hours and get you lined up.
And the thing I will say about matt@mattthemortgageguy.com is, yes, there are 3 T's in a row. MATTTHE, Matt, the mortgage guy. Yes. Don't let that trip you up. That caught me off guard the first time.
Right. Yeah. One time a few years ago, I was thinking about the domain name mtmg.com and they wanted 18,000. I wonder if it's on sale yet.
There you go.
It'd be a shorter email address, right? If it was matt@mtmg.com.
There you go. Well, folks, again, if you're in California, you're looking to buy or refi, you need to call Matt, the mortgage guy. He's the guy I go to ask questions. And again, what I learned here is the lowest rates that he saw was 2.5. Looks like the best options today are 2 3/4. What I take from this, Matt, is they really can't go much lower because, again, banks have to make money, right? And I think when they were 2.5, wasn't the 10-year down briefly at 1%?
Yeah, it was
About 1, right?
right. It might have even gone under 1.
Yeah, I think it went under 1, but yeah,
Yeah,
it broke
yeah.
1.
Right.
Uh,
So
yeah.
yeah, I don't see much more. I only see it going up. I mean, the 10-year being as low as it is, surprising you, surprising me, surprising everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, mortgage rates, there's nobody, you know, of a survey of 100 economists, there's nobody that says that we're going to go lower in the next 6
Yeah.
or 12 months. So if you like it, lock it. If you've got a refinance that makes sense, now is probably the time.
Yeah. And the other thing I will say is rates are only part of the equation, right? We do a lot of great things here, but the other thing we've been talking about is mortgage lenders are getting tighter. They are adding restrictions. They are adding overlays. It's going to be harder to get a loan. Is something I think we can count on in the next 12 months. So, you know, realize that as well, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. If you qualify and it's a good looking deal,
Get the
you
deal.
probably want to do it. Yeah. Worst case scenario, you know, bad case, rates go up and you take a higher rate. Worst case, you just can't get a loan in the future.
A yes turns to no, which will happen. Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, buddy. Again, Matt at mattthemortgageguy.com. Thanks, bud.